Righto, welcome to the blog for Friday the 27th of July. So this is day 35 of 65 of the Compound Effect Challenge. Basically what are we up to? End of 7th week into this 13-week or 3-month challenge. So just about halfway, just over halfway of this compound effect, making forward progress every day, applying my edge and method. There's something so powerful about this compound effect. This was really initiated this challenge for myself after reading the book called The Compound Effect. Just really focusing on something I've done, sort of in my life without even really thinking about it. If you also need to place real emphasis on it, that you're specifically focusing on something and developing it, and focusing on even just the smallest of details as well. It's amazing the effect it has, and just really feeling confident with the system, and certainly the work that's gone into it over the last 7 weeks and really applying this effect, this compound effect. It's amazing what it could do. Just really looking forward to when I get to the end of this 13 weeks, seeing where it is then. So the goal is to stick to the method, stick to the core of the method, and always looking to refine and define, but just knowing that you're sticking with something and just emphasizing it and just really developing it really well, and everything that goes with it. That's the system, that's the risk model, the psychology, everything, just applying it and making this compound effect work in my favor, and getting that edge, applying it day in, day out, and doing the same thing and moving ahead at day 65 of the challenge. So here we are, my 5-minute trading method. So at the moment, what it's all about is breaking it down into 3 strategies, and what I'm doing for my risk model is recording what each of these strategies do, as far as strike rate, number of trades, win to loss ratios, and things like that. And just want to really keep it as 3 different areas, a couple of trades under each area. But what I've found, and after speaking with a few professional traders and some reading and things like that, that the best way to apply any sort of trading method is to find significant areas in the market and then apply your blueprint or your trading setup over the top of that. So all of these areas are based on significant points of market. So the first strategy, continuing trend, looking at predetermining key price levels in the market. That might be over the last few days or even the last few weeks, but they're key levels in the market. When the market deals around that area, looking for the continuation of the momentum trade in that area. Strategy 2 is breaking the highs or the lows. So again, it's based on significant price action, not necessarily over the last day or week. If there's not a key level there, looking for what I call a temporary price action level, where the market's dealt around that area for the last hour or for 20 minutes or 30 minutes, whatever it might be, but trading based on a specific level within that area. And also other markets have a significant impact in this particular area too. And strategy 3 is the pivot strategy or reversal strategy, looking for markets to go one way, all of a sudden fail, and there's a significant area. So that pivot, that point in the market where if it gets underneath, it's likely to really continue. And of course, that's what the strategy, or that's the predetermined area that strategy is based on, and it requires other market support as well. So here we are today, daily charts pushing up. We're getting above this resistance level, so we're hitting areas we haven't been for the last few months. And then we're approaching these highs, which is basically the highs of the last few years. So definitely a significant area, and these buyers are looking quite strong at the moment. As far as today, 15-minute chart, always use that for point as far as direction and exits and things like that, using this as a little bit of a longer term perspective. So it's certainly not long term as in daily charts, and it's not immediate price action based on 1 minute, 5-minute charts. So it takes away a little bit of noise, but you can see significant areas and what's happening, and using it a little bit more for support and resistance. So this particular one, obviously we're a little bit extended, just wary that the market could get a bit of a bounce to the downside. And what that just means is buyers just looking for better spots to to buy off some support levels to get in, knowing that this market's going to go higher. But watched it, and this sort of level here at 61.50 was significant, and used it for the first trade that I was looking at, even though there's no fill, but used it to see what happened. So the market pushed up, got above it, come back, bounced off it, then continue on. So it looked like these markets really wanted to go and head on the upside. So here it is here. So this area here is the directional breakout trade that I was looking at, but no fill. So I'll take to the 1 minute chart. best way to see it here. So what happens is the market dealt sideways, then we got some momentum here. So this is the first potential chance of looking at a trend. So we're looking for it to come down, bounce off level, and then sell off. I had a predetermined level, but the problem was no other markets were going with it. So certainly the downside looked like a fake move. Even if it went and continued on the downside, I'm not prepared to take it because I'm not seeing the other markets go with it. So that's a predetermined indicator as far as taking this directional or first breakout trade. Then all of a sudden everything swung to the upside. You can see here it's come up, and this is where it's really bounced off that 61.50 area, and that's where it showed it really wanted to go. So as it pushed through this 62.50, and this is a predetermined buy level, from going back through here, looking at these areas through here, the markets kept on reacting at this price. So once we pushed through this and showed significance, all the other markets were really going with it too, looking for it then to come back and use this as a support and buy there and look to go higher. Unfortunately just missed it by one tick. From there the markets are going higher again. I'll stick on the 1 minute chart because it's just basically shallow pullbacks through most of the day. So I was looking at breakout trades. Actually for the entire day no trades, but there was a few setups that came close. So this particular one here, I really like this setup. The Russell was well and truly past its high, so when I was looking to buy down around here, just waiting for that confirmation, the Russell was already well and truly past its highs, and just thinking I just want to be on this upside. So the breakout setup came here. It's dealing around this price here, 65.50 is the significant price in this area, waiting for that confirmation of it to push through. Not back here, even though it's pushed up through here and then come back. I'm not looking at it through here because the predictive average hadn't come back yet. So I just officially need that predictive average to cross down, not to signal the trade, but just to signal this is the area. So that way I just know I'm not looking at any old area. It needs to be a predetermined area, and I use the predictive average for that. So here's where I'm looking for it. All of a sudden need that thrust through that particular price level. Once I got that, put in the order and just waiting for it to come back and buy off this level. Unfortunately, didn't even come close. It stayed, missed it by quite a while, 3 ticks. But that's the particular setup. And I think it was the Russell that kept on dragging these markets high, and as a result they just didn't come back and look at any level. They just went up through here. Again, it's very sideways. The price looking at around here was 70.50. The price really kept on dealing around that price. As soon as it got some thrust, again looking for it to come back and bounce the level, but just didn't come back. Wasn't so convinced on the area. This is quite surprising to see this. I guess it's news related with low volume for the Friday afternoon, just meant the market chewed up through the contracts. But at the end of the day, this particular area, I know most times it can go higher. The area, even though it looks like you'd want some sort of, let me show in the 5 minute chart, some sort of pullback here and maybe start breaking down. I know many times it goes up, but that's where the system was potentially setting up as far as a breakout trade, and really got to look at it and try and be systematic with it. And then up through here, looking at a reversal trade at this point here. So the 1 minute chart shows that 5 minute buy through this area here. I did take the 5 minute buy because it's not on one of my predetermined key levels. So for me, that just means the market could be a bit sloppy and could go anywhere. So not prepared to take that on. But what I was wanting to see is the buyers fail, see that area fail, and then come back and apply some pressure to this pivot here. And if it gets below that pivot, looking to sell then, and that's the reversal trade. But it never came back. So I was looking at it, it's already predetermined. I know exactly what to do if it's coming. The idea's in my head, but it just never came. So be it's just an area I was looking for, but that never eventuates, and that's the way I want to keep on trading, having these predetermined areas. The setup's already set, ready to go. I'm just waiting for the price to do a certain thing. If it does, then get on the trade. Keeping it very simple and effective in that form. So that's a wrap up for Friday, end of the week, and we're back on Monday.